Hey, so in today's lesson, we're talking about how to practice your English at home. Now, I want to be clear, we're not talking about only studying and inputting information into your brain. This lesson is about how you can actually use the English that you have been learning and produce something with the language that you have. So if you're looking for some new ways to practice your English at home, then let's get started. So the first way to practice your English at home is to summarize things. To summarize things that you listen to, things that you read, and things that you watch in English, of course. Now, what does it mean to summarize something? Summarize just means to explain something long in a shorter, simpler way. Okay, so to summarize again means to explain a long thing in a shorter version or in a shorter way. And why is this important? Actually, summarizing is a skill that we need to communicate in English, and you probably already summarize things naturally in your own language. So this is a skill that you need to transfer over to English if you want to communicate effectively. So I'll give you some examples of what summarizing looks like in our daily life and how we actually do this. Imagine that you come home from work and you tell your family how your day was. You tell them what happened. This is an example of you summarizing your day at work. Maybe you were at work for 8 hours or for 10 hours. Of course, you're not going to talk to your family for 8 or 10 hours. You're going to give them a summary of your day, okay? Another example, imagine that you watch an amazing movie or a really great TV series on Netflix and you want to tell your friends or tell your family about it. You are going to summarize the movie or summarize the show for them. Of course, you are not going to tell them every single little detail. So summarizing things is a natural part of English conversation, and it's a very necessary and important skill to have. So here's how you can practice summarizing things at home. Anything that you like or any topic that you're interested in, you can watch a video about it, you can read an article about it, or you can listen to maybe a podcast about it. So for example, I like psychology. Imagine that I read a blog post about psychology and it's a little bit long, but the concepts and the ideas are really, really interesting. So I read this blog post or an article about psychology, and then I write a summary about it. So a summary can be a paragraph, half a page. It doesn't have to be very long, all right? So I'm taking something long that I read or that I listened to or that I watched, and I am producing something. I'm creating or making or writing a summary, a short version. So this is useful because the next time that I meet up with my friends, maybe I want to tell them about this really interesting article that I read, okay? But of course, I need to explain it in a shorter or simpler way so it's not boring for them, right? So writing a summary of things that you're already watching or already listening to or already reading is a really fantastic way to practice your English at home. And you don't actually have to write. You can also speak. So another option instead of writing is to voice record yourself explaining a summary of whatever you have watched or read. So the first thing that you need to practice is to summarize things that you read, summarize things that you watch, and summarize things that you listen to in English. So the next way that you can practice your English at home is to connect with other English learners, to connect with other people or to join communities of people who also want to improve their English, who also want to practice their English. Now, the internet is a very big place, and I know it can feel a little bit scary or difficult or intimidating to find other people to practice your English with. But I promise you that you can. It does take some time and some effort and the right approach, okay? The right approach. Now, this is really important. The way that you approach people, the way that you connect with people is very, very, very important. And I want to stress this because I get lots of messages from people every day saying things like, help me with English. Teach me English. Can I talk to you? Can I have your phone number? And this is the wrong approach if you're looking to connect with people or you're looking for a speaking partner or someone to practice with. This is really the wrong approach, okay? And the reason is because this is very one-sided. If you send a message to someone that you don't know and you never met before and you say, help me with this, do this for me, teach this to me, it's very demanding, okay? And when you're trying to connect with somebody, online, you have to imagine that you're connecting with this person in real life. I know that that's a little bit hard to do because sometimes online we feel like it's not the real world, but it still is part of the real world. So if you're trying to connect with someone, to talk with someone, to build a conversation, to build a relationship with someone and have a conversation with them, you actually have to put in some time and effort to build that connection, okay? So start off with, of course, introducing yourself, give enough background information about you, but make sure that you are actually building a real connection, having a back and forth conversation. It needs to be give and take. If you're looking for a speaking partner, you cannot simply ask someone to correct your English or to teach you or ask for their phone number without knowing anything about them. You have to really be careful with this approach, okay? So think of it like this. If you saw someone on the street that you didn't know, would you walk up to them and say, give me your phone number or teach me this or check this for me or do this for me? Probably not, right? So if you message people online, just keep that in mind. So be careful with your approach. And again, the key here is to build genuine, real connection. So you can do this by, again, having a back and forth conversation. Find something in common. Make sure there is a mutual benefit or benefit for both people. Both people are enjoying the conversation. Both people are practicing, okay? Both people are having a nice time and actually improving and learning. And this is for finding a speaking partner, but there are also a lot of Facebook groups, Telegram groups, online communities that you can join where you can communicate with other English learners, participate in discussions, chat about lots of different things. So again, it takes a little time and effort, but it's definitely worth it. And when I was living and working in Brazil, I did not speak Portuguese. I just learned a few basic phrases. I was only there for a few months and I didn't know anyone. And I used the internet to connect with other people. So I used a site called Internations. You can use websites like Internations and Meetup to actually meet people in person. There are also language exchanges in person once COVID is over that you can use as well. Okay, so look for groups, look for websites where you can actually connect and meet people. And again, make an effort. Don't have a one-sided conversation. Make sure that the relationship is mutual and the benefit is there for both people. And this is how you can connect with other English learners online. So the next thing that you can do to practice your English is to record yourself speaking. So you can either film yourself, make a video, or just record your voice if you don't want to make a video. Okay, now this is actually my personal favorite one on this list in today's lesson. Recording yourself is such a powerful tool. The reason is because you can literally look back and assess your own English. You can look at your pronunciation, your vocabulary, your grammar. You can see if your ideas are clear and organized, if they make sense or not, all right? As well, you can keep track of your progress. So if you record yourself every week or every day, but let's say every week for maybe 6 months, okay? And you look back from month to month, you can see firsthand how much you have improved. You will be able to see the improvements in your speaking from month to month. And this is something that a teacher is trained to see and trained to recognize, but I know that it's really hard for you to assess yourself sometimes and to see your own progress sometimes. It's really hard to see. So recording yourself will just make this easier for you. It will help you to keep track of how you are actually doing, and it will also motivate you, because once you see yourself improving, you're gonna feel like, okay, you know, my hard work is paying off. My hard work is actually working and getting me somewhere. It's gonna motivate you to continue. So you might not be sure what to record. So if you have a presentation coming up for work or presentation coming up for school, you can practice this presentation and just record yourself. If you don't have a presentation coming up, that's okay. If you are looking for a job or you have a job interview coming up, record yourself talking about your professional life, talking about your CV, talking about your work experience, so that you will be ready for a job interview, okay? Another option is to choose different topics and try to talk about them for as long as you can. And this is really gonna help you with your fluency. This is a skill that's actually used on the IELTS exam. This is one part of the speaking test on the IELTS exam, is to speak for 2 minutes about a topic that is given to you. So working on this skill will really help you with your fluency. So record yourself speaking, even if it's awkward, even if it's uncomfortable. I promise it's going to help you. I myself have done this as a native English speaker and as an English teacher. I've recorded myself. I'm recording myself right now, and I promise you it's such a useful tool. So give this one a try. Okay, so the next thing you can do to practice your English at home is to keep a journal. A journal is a great way for you to take all of the thoughts and ideas and things you have in your head and get them out and put them on paper. Now you might be wondering, how can a journal help me with my English? Because what if I make mistakes and all of that? And I promise you, a journal can definitely help you with your English, because if you keep a journal in English, you are creating a place for yourself to express your thoughts and your opinions openly. You don't have to worry about mistakes. You don't have to worry about anyone judging you. And honestly, this is still a skill that you need to have in English if you want to communicate with people. A lot of my higher level students have had a difficult time expressing their feelings in English because they never had the opportunity to do that. Many people improve their English so they can travel, so they can work, so they can study, but a big part of communicating is expressing how you feel. So when you eventually have to tell somebody how you feel about something and you never had the chance, you get stuck, right? So a journal in English is basically a place for you to practice explaining and expressing and organizing your own thoughts and your own feelings, so that when you do have the opportunity to tell someone how you feel in English, you know how to do it, okay? So this is why a journal is so powerful. And of course, a journal will help you with your writing skills, with organizing your ideas, developing your ideas, with your spelling, with your punctuation and all that good stuff. But above all, it's going to help you learn and practice expressing and explaining how you actually feel about something in English, which is super, super important. And finally, another great way to practice your English at home is to use dictation instead of typing. Now, the idea here is to use a speech-to-text application or a speech-to-text website or program where basically you speak and the computer types or writes whatever you're saying. This is fantastic for your pronunciation and your speaking. So I have an Apple computer, and if you have a Mac or an Apple computer, you can use Apple Dictation. If you don't have an Apple computer, I found a really great website today, which is Dictation.io, and you literally just speak and the website types for you, okay? So you can actually use this dictation website to keep your journal. So you can dictate anything, your grocery list, your goals, your journal, a project you have, a report you're writing, an email you're writing, anything that you are going to type. You can literally use dictation instead. Now, I do recommend proofreading or editing, of course, the text from your dictation because it is a computer. Sometimes there can be little mistakes. And you can also use spell check tools and grammar check tools like Grammarly to help you with this, okay? So give this a try. The next time you want to type something, a comment, an email, a report, whatever, try using dictation as a chance for you to practice your English pronunciation. So you probably heard my doorbell ring because my lunch has arrived, but there you have it. These are some ways for you to practice your English at home. And if you have any other ideas or methods that work really well for you, share them with us in the comments down below so that other English learners can give those a try as well. As always, thank you so much for watching and for learning with me. I'm gonna go have my lunch and I will see you soon in the next one.